So you're thinking about moving to Covington, Washington. Well, stick around. In this video is going to be the most in-depth video that we do on Covington. We're going to hop in the map feature of my computer here so you can find out where Covington is located in relation to kind of everything else like the airport, Seattle, Bellevue, the mountains. Then we're going to zoom into Covington and look at, hey, what's actually going on in the actual city. Lastly, we're going to hop on the MLS. You can actually see the houses that are for sale, what price points they are, what neighborhoods they're in. So if you want to learn more, stick around. We're going to get after it right now. Hey, if this is your first time to the channel and you want to know all there is to know about living in King County, Washington, or places like Covington, like we're talking about today, then hit the subscribe button, tap the bell for notifications. That way you can be the first to be notified of a new video of Covington or one of our other favorite cities here in King County. I'm Brad Decatur with the Decatur Home Team. We get calls, texts, and emails from people just like you every day who are looking to make their move to King County. So whether you're 1 day or 1 year away, we'd love to help you make a smooth move. All the contact info is below, so feel free to reach out, shoot us a text, call, email, or we can hop on a Zoom call to talk about your home search and kind of what areas are best for you. So today, the map video, I'm gonna actually turn this camera off. We're gonna head into my computer right now. I'll see you there. Hey everybody, here we are in the Zoom here. I'm gonna do a share screen so we can take a look at the map feature here. So starting off, here is the border of Covington, although I wanna start off by saying it's actually not quite accurate. Sometimes the Google Maps isn't correct, like for example, Druids Glen Golf Course right here is also in Covington, so it actually comes a little bit farther down here and kind of borders around here. So it's a little bit off, but it'll be fine for this video. So let's start off by zooming out, and we'll take a look at kind of what's surrounding Covington, the major things you're going to want to know about, like airports, Seattle, the mountains, things like that. And then we'll zoom in, like I said, and take a look at what's going on locally in Covington. All right, so first off, we got Seattle right up here, and you can see just by the border here how small Covington is compared to Seattle. Seattle goes all the way up to Shoreline. Down here, Buren's a Seattle address. So that's how big Seattle is. Covington, much, much smaller little city there. But as far as commutes go, so anyone who's in Covington, they're probably most likely going to be working Covington, unless you're working in retail on like Kent Canley Road with all the shops and stuff, you're probably going to be commuting to work. A lot of the workforce is going to be in Seattle, Bellevue, Kirkland, and Redmond, but there is still a lot of jobs out in the Kent, kind of Auburn and Tacoma area. So I would say Covington might be split between kind of people going north and also south west. But drive times to Covington, from Covington to Seattle, we'd head over here through Kent. You're either going to go all the way to I-5 and head straight north on I-5, or some might take it through 405 for a little bit and then hop over to I-5 as well. But drive times from Covington to Seattle are going to be probably about 40 to 45 minutes, depending on traffic. So if you're going to, let's say, the Mariners game, T-Mobile Field right here downtown, it might take you that long with about no traffic. But if you're going for the actual Mariners game, 7 o'clock start time, you'd probably see a lot of traffic right in this region. Kind of once you get into Seattle, especially down here by Pike Place and just like all the downtown area, could be pretty bad traffic. So you might want to plan for more like an hour and 15 minutes. Bellevue can be a little bit easier. 405 is also pretty big traffic area. So you might get some traffic here from Renton to Bellevue on 405. And then also the way you get there might be a little different. I would probably go on 169 to get over the 405 in this case from Covington. I live in Maple Valley right here, so this is the route that I go. But as you get into Covington, kind of depends on which side you're on. You might actually go this way if you're closer on the west side. So kind of depends either way. But drive times, as you can just see from the map, it's going to be similar to Seattle. I would say it'd probably get you there about 5 minutes earlier to downtown Bellevue, just because it's a little bit shorter here. And also I would probably expect a little bit less traffic in the downtown area than I would in Seattle. Other things to note are going to be the airport. So one of the benefits of Covington is pretty close to the airport here. So SeaTac is where the airport is located. There's also a small one here in Renton, but SeaTac's where most people are going to fly out of. That's a pretty quick shot here. So I would say, drive time, maybe 25 minutes to get to the SeaTac airport. Something else to note is going to be the mountains. So if you're a snowboarder or skier, Snoqualmie Pass over here, just east, that's going to be where you're going to do all of your mountain activities, skiing, snowboarding. They have it all. They have the sledding area with like the inner tube tires. They have snowshoeing, walking, all that kind of stuff. In the summertime, you can also do hikes there when there's no snow. So that one, it's going to be a straight shot for both freeways. So Covington Highway 18 goes right directly through. You can kind of see right in the middle of that. That's Highway 18. So to get to the mountains, you're going to go all the way through 18 to get to I-90. Then you're going to head over there. So that one's probably going to be a little bit longer. I would plan for close to an hour, I would say, from Covington to Snoqualmie Pass, the mountains, if you're a snowboarder. And then you got Tacoma down here. Tacoma is another big, huge city and a big port. So as far as like trade goes, where the water's at here, there is a lot of industries, a lot of jobs down in Tacoma. So if you're in Covington, it's possible you're going to work there as well. You'd probably head south on 18 to get down here and through Tacoma over here. There's also a lot of jobs in Federal Way and Auburn. So if you're, someone who's looking in Covington and your job you already know is in Kent, Federal Way, Auburn, you can see here that these are connected. Covington is going to link up to Kent right about here on the border. So a lot of the downtown Kent jobs, they might be only 10 or 15 minutes away from you in downtown Covington. So that pretty much sums up kind of what's going on around Covington. Tacoma, Seattle. Let's zoom in a little bit more and just look at a few of the surrounding areas here. So as I mentioned, Covington, butts up to Kent. So Kent's going to be on your west side here. And then the other side is going to be Maple Valley. So just east of it and also north of it is going to be Maple Valley. That's actually where I live, is Maple Valley. So great spot there. And then south is going to be your Black Diamond area. So let's zoom in on Covington here for the next part of our video, and we'll take a look at what is going on here. Let's do the satellite version. There we go. So the main thing about Covington is there's this main road, Kent Kangley Road, kind of goes all the way through it here. I'll show you right through here. And that road just has tons and tons of commercial. So I don't know how many shops and restaurants there are, but there's tons. The whole road is filled with it. So they got all your shopping centers, your QFCs, your Safeways, and things like that. But they also have a lot of the big box stores. That's one of the great parts about Covington, is this is actually a small town, but it has the shopping as if it was like a Bellevue. It has Costco, Walmart, Home Depot. So all your big box stores that take lots of, real estate up there, big, huge buildings, but they still have all of that right here in Covington, which is really great. So let's zoom in on that first, Kent Kangley Road. So here's that road I'm talking about, kind of from here to here. You can see IHOP, Red Robin, Chick-fil-A, Wendy's, Fred Meyer, Safeway, Costco, Walmart right here, and then all your other small shops and restaurants as well, LA Fitness. So it doesn't look like much on the map here, but I mean, you can kind of see the border here. This is all commercial. So just lots and lots of stuff here as far as shopping. Not so much on the entertainment side. So it's not like they have like the, Top Golf, like Renton, or obviously you can't see Mariners or Seahawks go play games here. They don't have a movie theater as well. Although later in my video, we'll talk about that. They are going to be putting one in at the new plaza that they're developing here off 18. I'll show you that soon. But this is your main shopping center. So any kind of shopping you're getting done, obviously your grocery shopping, but also even like, presents and regular shopping, clothes, kind of like a mall type thing. This is not considered a mall, but it has so much here that it's kind of close to one. It really has a lot. If we zoom in a little more, I can probably get more shops, specific names of, all the stuff here. Walgreens, Wood Fired Pizza, Nails, Panda Express, Jimmy John's, Iron Steak Grill, Cold Stove Creamery, Applebee's, Planet Fitness, GameStop. So, I can go on and on, but there's lots of shopping and entertainment here in the downtown Covington area. And again, Costco. Costco's a big one. Anyone that has a Costco, that's pretty awesome. And Walmart and Fred Meyer there. Okay. So that kind of does it for the shopping center, the commercial areas. A couple other things I would like to mention is going to be the golf course. So Druids Glen Golf Course is a really great one. Back when I worked at a golf course, Willows Run in Redmond, Druids Glen is their sister course. So same owner. So I used to always go down here to play. Here's a few pictures of the golf course here. Look at that. Beautiful. That's Mount Rainier. Beautiful picture. This is a really great course. It's got the driving range, clubhouse, restaurant. So I definitely love playing over here. You can see you can host some events here. They got plenty of space on the outdoor patio for events. Looks like this is a wedding. So that's the golf course. There's not a whole lot else other than the shopping centers, like as far as entertainment goes. So, that's kind of all I see as far as entertainment goes. Let's hop into some schools next, and then we will get into the neighborhood section. Top neighborhoods that I like, kind of split Covington up into a couple of different neighborhoods. And then we'll hop in the MLS and look at the real estate, check out some prices, check out some pictures of homes to get you guys an idea of kind of how far your dollar goes here in the area. All right, let's zoom in a little bit and get some schools. Okay, so your main high school, this is going to be Kentwood High School. So school districts in Covington, just in general, you should check out my pros and cons video. I'll go through a little bit more of it in detail here. It's actually one of the cons. So it's hard for me to say that because I don't want to turn people off, but in the areas that I serve, which is the greater east side markets of King County, which includes Bellevue, Issaquah, Sammamish, Renton, Kirkland, Bothell, kind of a big area. Covington is going to fall into the Kent school districts. So when compared to some of those really, really good school districts, for example, Bellevue and Mercer Island are going to be 1 and 2 in the whole state almost every single year. Issaquah, Lake Washington, and Snoqualmie districts are really good. Even Tahoma School District, which is right next to it over here in Maple Valley, is really good. But Kent School District is not quite as good. So your Kent, Auburn, Federal Way areas are going to have a little bit worse school districts. So again, it's all relative. It depends on what you're comparing it to. So that's why I have a hard time saying it's not a good school district. It's just not as good as Bellevue, Issaquah, Sammamish, those kind of areas. So for me, it fell into the con list when I did the pros and cons video. But here's a look at the high school. It's still a really good high school. Ratings aren't too bad. We'll show you a little rating here of King County on the screen and a little drive-by as well. But still a good school, pretty big school as well. We got the middle school here. Where did it go? Matson Middle School. And then there's actually multiple elementary schools. So we can check those out on goodschools.org. We'll show you a statistic of it right now. So I think that kind of covers it. I think most people watch these videos for the real estate. So let's shift gears and talk some real estate. So first off, the first neighborhood is this Timberline neighborhood. So first I want to let you know that the border of Covington kind of starts right here. Let me get my little tool out to draw. So this area right here is in Maple Valley, and then right about here, that's where the line changes, the boundary for Covington to Maple Valley. I know that the map actually shows that's not correct, but that is true. This is where they start. So this first neighborhood is a pretty good spot. They actually have private lake access right here. So this is a good neighborhood. And then Timberline is the main one I was going to talk about because it's a pretty big one. I think of Timberline as this whole area, even though it is different subdivisions and different builders. You can see this is probably over 1,000 homes. But this area is a good spot. So you're really close to all the shopping. So remember, this is all the shopping center. So this is basically attached to it right here. And this is a good neighborhood. This is like the neighborhood that has, cul-de-sacs, sidewalks. We'll show you some footage of some of the houses that we took a look at in this area right now. So that's one kind of area that I would just identify as a specific area, even though it's not one neighborhood. And then we have the neighborhoods that are right behind all the shopping center. Now this area would be more of your starter homes, not quite as good of an area. If you ask me, not going to be like your sidewalks, and bigger houses. It's going to be a lot of ramblers, smaller houses, 3-bed, 2-bath, 1,200 square feet type house, in this area, but better pricing. So a little bit worse neighborhood there. And then as we go south here towards the Druids Glen Golf Course, we're going to see a lot more acreage properties and potentially some luxury depending on what neighborhood you're in. So this is a really great area as well. All right, one more thing before we hop into the MLS and start looking at houses is going to be this new project. So future development here in Covington is going to be pretty huge. I think it's going to be a game changer for future growth. You can see on the map feature here, this huge dirt area. That is what they're developing. So this is just off the Highway 18. So the first thing they did was put in like 30 million to make a new exit and a ramp and stuff. So that's all right here. I don't even know if this map is updated what they have currently, but on ramps and all that stuff, very expensive stuff. So this is all planned with the city. So they have that going on right now. And now this place is starting to just get developed. They're not building yet, but they're getting land prepped. And this has already been happening for a few years. So we're getting close. It's very exciting. I live in Maple Valley, super close, like I've said. So this place, I would actually go here. So once they have the movie theater built in the plaza, this is going to be a super awesome place to visit for all people, even outside of Covington. So it doesn't look that big from here, but the plans for this are amazing. In fact, I will just go ahead and pull up the website so I can show you guys some good pictures, because obviously I don't have any pictures yet because they're all renderings because it's dirt right now. But this is super exciting. All right, so I'm hopped on the website here. So Lake Point, the plaza here, you can see these are just some renderings. This is what it's going to look like. I don't know the exact time frame. It usually takes longer than they plan, but hopefully in a couple of years this thing will be done. but they have the man-made lake. So when I was just there on site myself, it's just still just dirt. So this is not like working around a real lake. It's going to be man-made. You can see here they have all the housing units. So I believe, I might have to check my notes. If I'm wrong, we can put it on the video. I think it's about 7,500 units of actual construction for housing. So that's going to be condos, townhomes, I think some single family, but mostly it's going to be pretty high density living. So condos and townhomes. Let's take a look at some of the stuff here on the website here. Like I said, this is the kind of the rendering. I have a few things pulled up here that we can show you. So here is the development plan the builders have put on the website here. So this pink area, that's going to be your mixed use commercial area. So this whole area here is going to be that plaza, that stuff that I was just showing renderings of. So it's going to have the movie theaters, all of your shopping, entertainment, over 50 places for dining. So that whole plaza, that's right there. Then we have the lake there below. And then these little ones in brown and tan, those are the different housing. So we have, you can see in the legend here, medium density is the light brown, and then darker is the higher density ones. So condos, townhomes versus houses. So this is kind of the plan there. I'll show you one more thing here. This is just the zoning for how they made that development plan. See if there's any good renderings of the plaza part. But anyway, that is the plaza that I was talking about. So again, I think that this thing is going to have a really good impact on Covington in general. You know, anytime that a huge master plan development is going in and it's going to be kind of a game changer for the area, that's great for property values. So the great part is that the plans are there. We know what's happening. It's approved. They've already spent millions and millions on the roads. It's now dirt. They're ready to start building. So I don't foresee anything that's going to hold it up at this point. So it's only a few years away. When you're getting in on the ground floor of these things, it's really good for, as far as an investment purposes of, you know, putting your money in the house now. These developments then happen. So then 5-10 years later, it's a much more desirable area to live because of this new development. So I always think it's a great idea to get in the ground floor of any sort of master plan community. So, you know, like Klahani would be a good one before, Issaquah Highlands, then 10 Trails is the newest one. Anything that's happening like that, it's a really good investment. And I think that the same thing is true for Covington, which is why I think Covington's a great growth opportunity investment wise. So that is the Lake Point Urban Village. So let's go ahead and move into the real estate section. We'll hop in the MLS right now and we'll take a look at some of the houses, see how far your dollar goes and what different neighborhoods we're looking at. Okay, so today you can probably see from the screen share, what is it, February 13th right now. So we're kind of just getting into the market picking up here in 2023. January was getting a little bit hotter after a really slow last like 8 months or so. You may be watching this video later, so maybe don't pay attention too much to the pricing, just maybe how they compare, you know, these prices compare to the other neighborhoods. Hopefully that'll be helpful. So we'll take a look at active properties in Covington in the MLS here. There we go. Let's see what we got. So 33 actives. So let's start out with taking a few examples of that first neighborhood, the Timberline area right here, okay? Let's see what we got. So 540, this is going to be like pretty much a starter house. You could probably get into the mid to high 400s for like a really starter house, like kind of a beat up 3-bed, 1-bath, 1,000 square foot. That would probably be like your entry level pricing. I'm not sure if there's one for sale right now that we can look at, but that's just what I know from experience. This one's listed at 540 right now. It says 1,700 square feet. Oh, I actually saw this one. Split level. I think it had a little spot for a kitchenette downstairs, if I remember, or it could. So there's one example. We'll just go pretty quick through the pictures. Again, this is just to give you guys an idea of kind of a few different examples to paint the picture of what prices are in what different neighborhoods, so you kind of get an idea of what's best for you. So that's your 540 price point. Let's see what we got. It's a rental. Here's 500. So this is going to be your starter home. There we go. 1,300 square feet. Probably not like updated is my guess at this price point. Not too bad though. Still laminate kitchen. Cool. This one just came on the market. So that's a great example. So this is going to be your starting price point. So again, this is kind of the just behind and over from kind of the shopping centers area. So a lot of good first-time home buyer price points here. And then as we get closer over here, we're probably going to see some higher prices. Let's see what we got here. Yep. So this is the neighborhood that I was talking about. The Timberline, once it kind of changes a little bit, we have a little bit better neighborhoods. This is the newer construction neighborhood. This one's listed at 824,000, 2,500 square feet. Looks like it's a Lennar product. So this is actually new construction. Obviously, new construction is going to have nice finishes. So this is looking really good. So that's the great part about Covington is, like, you know, new construction for 800,000. Really nice house. If you're new to the channel and you haven't explored other areas, this is cheap in King County for, you know, new construction. If you're going to look at new construction in Bellevue, you're talking about multi millions, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, depending on how big the house is. Even in like Issaquah, for example, a new construction house like this is going to be in the mid to high millions probably. So getting under $1 million for new construction is really good. Let's take a look at a few other examples in this neighborhood here. Here's one for $1 million. This is 4,000 square feet. Big house. Looks like it's relatively new. I don't know if it's actually new. Let's see. Year built 2019. So $1 million for 4,000 square feet. Again, one of my favorite parts of Covington. This is, if you're coming from somewhere else, it might be a sticker shock, but for me locally, this is a great house for $1 million. Look at that. Big house, 4,000 square feet. So again, this is that Timberline neighborhood, where it's not a neighborhood. It's the Timberline area, the east side of it, which is a little bit better pricing, higher pricing area. Hopefully that gives you a little bit of an example of what's going on in this area. Let's see one more for kicks. How about this one? 895, another newer construction, almost 3,000 square feet, just under 900,000. Okay, so this area, that's what you're getting. 800 to $1 million, newer construction. Some are actually brand new. Some are a couple years old to 5 years old, but they're all going to be nice houses, nice neighborhoods. We'll show you some footage of us driving through this neighborhood when we did the vlog tour. If you haven't seen the vlog tour, check that out. You can learn a little bit more about Covington there too. But this is that pretty nice neighborhood, which is really, this takes us to almost the kind of the top range of the price point. New construction typically sets the top of the market for prices in those square footage ranges. So in Covington, if you're looking for the 3,000, 25 to 3,500 square foot house, this is where you're going to land. This is kind of the top of the market. The only thing that's going to be higher than this is going to be getting the luxury estate properties down south a little bit, where you're going to have like an acre or two and a even bigger house, 5,000 square feet. That's going to be in those mid millions to 2 million, depending, or it could be a horse property, which has a lot more value because they build the barns and stuff. But as far as traditional, regular houses, neighborhoods with sidewalks and stuff, this is really the top. Like you're going to get most of what you need under $1 million in Covington, which is, you cannot say that about a lot of properties or a lot of cities here in King County. Okay, let's go over here a little bit, and then we'll kind of finish this thing up. Hopefully you guys get an idea of what it's like here in the Covington area. Here's a little neighborhood here. These are in the 800s, 900. Here's a 600 one, a little smaller. Okay, so 2,300 square feet, a little under 700,000. This one's built in 2003. 900,000, another new construction. This looks like a main view. Yep, there we go. Main view house. 2,200. That's pretty small for 900,000. But main view is a little bit more luxury of a builder. Here we got 775, 3,400 square feet. Looks like a little bit of an older home. We'll go pretty quickly through a few of these. About 3,000 square feet, 850. Looks like a little bit newer of a home. So here all the way down to the lake. Like I said, so here we go. So lakefront, this is 4,000 square feet. This is at 1.45 million, about 4,000 square feet. It's on the water. Nice looking house. Great. Again, value. Lakefront for less than 1.5, and it's a big house, 4,000 square feet. That's pretty amazing in our area. And over here, this is some new construction. They don't have the price yet. It's pre-sale. Okay, so overview, MLS, and kind of the map search here. Covington, it's kind of got all you need. So like I said, behind the shopping centers area is going to be your starting price points, 500,000 give or take. And this area right here, that's going to be your ramblers, smaller houses for the most part. The two that are for sale, 600 and 475. This is a little rambler, less than 1,000 square feet. So this is about as low as it's going to get for prices. So 500 entry level. You can see this one's not super nice. And then if you're looking for, like, I would say like your average, let's say 3 to 4 baths, 2.5, 3 to 4 bedrooms, 2.5 baths, maybe 2,000 to like 2,400 square feet. That's if it's not new, if it's like a 1990s to 2005 build, something like that, you're probably looking in like the 700s would be a really good guess for just the average range, 700,000, maybe 650 in some cases. And then if you move towards the nicer neighborhoods, which are a little bit newer construction, either brand new or relatively new, you're looking again at that 800 to $1 million, depending on the size of the property for price points. But really good neighborhoods, obviously, if they're new construction and they're selling for those prices, they usually have nice family neighborhoods in there, or nice families in the houses that are the ones that want to live there. So yeah, it's kind of got all you need. And then if you go south again, you get a little bit more estate properties. I don't see a good example of an estate property down here that I'd like to see, like show you guys a 5-acre house. They do have those in Covington. Looks like there's none that I can show you today, but we got lakefront for $1.5 million. And then here's some new construction. So that is the basics of the real estate here. All right, guys, that wraps it up for the map video. Hopefully you found that very helpful in learning a little bit more about Covington. Quick recap, real estate wise, starting price point's about $500,000 for your Rambler starter home. Middle price point, maybe the $650 to $750 range for kind of your standard 3-4 bed, 2,000 square foot house. And then a little bit newer house in the nicer neighborhoods is going to be between $800 and $1 million. For those bigger houses, maybe 3,000, 3,500 square feet, that's going to be your price range. And then a few luxury estate properties down south a little bit farther for over $1 million, or like that lakefront one that I showed you for about 1.5. So that's the range of real estate. And Covington, just a recap of what it's like there. Great place to live, I think. Again, I live super close to it, so I actually go to Covington a lot because they have so much more in the shopping centers than we do in Maple Valley. Maple Valley's got a couple places to eat and a Fred Meyer. Covington has everything. So the Costco, the Walmart, everything, all the big box stores. I think that's a huge draw. Really great for the area. So good place to live. School districts is Kent, so it maybe could have some improvements there. But I think as the landscape changes and we have that growth opportunity of the plaza there off Highway 18, as that comes in and more money's flowing to the Covington area, that usually turns around school districts as well, kind of as a lag measure of that. So I think that that'll change over time. Overall, I think Covington's a great investment because it's still on the, it's like an up and coming area. It wasn't previously thought of as a super amazing area, super nice luxury area, but now that there's a lot of building and new construction and those price points are coming up, it's starting to get some traction. And I think as the district changes a little bit, the schools, and that new development comes in, I think the landscape's going to change quite a bit, and I think it's going to have a good chunk of appreciation here in the future. So love Covington, great area. If this is your first time to the channel, first video, and you're looking to learn more about Covington specifically, check out the pros and cons video where we look at some of the negatives as well, not just the positives like this video. And then the vlog tour, if you want to see us, kind of out and about vlog style, taking a look at the properties and the different areas in Covington. And then if you're interested in Covington, you're probably also interested in some of the other areas that are adjacent or nearby, such as Maple Valley. Maybe you want to head up to Snoqualmie or Issaquah. But in general, our channel is meant to give you an idea of what it's like to live in almost all areas of King County. So please check out the rest of the channel. We have them listed in playlists so you can find out, so you can learn more about each city pretty easily on the playlist. So check those out. And again, we're here to help you make a smooth move to King County. So if you are interested in kind of narrowing in the search, you've done your research on the videos and you figured out, hey, I want to live in these few different areas, that's when it's time to hop on a Zoom call with us and explore, what area is best for you, specifically to what you're looking for. So feel free to reach out. We'd love to talk to you. And thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.